Sylvaine pour Chicks Rock Media. Aujourd'hui, on a une superbe entrevue à vous présenter avec Petri Lindroos, qui est le chanteur un peu growl du groupe et guitariste de Ensiferum. Pour ceux qui ne les connaissent pas, mais qui se disent « Mais c'est qui Ensiferum? » C'est un band de folk metal. Vous allez avoir sa propre description dans l'entrevue. Qu'est-ce que c'est exactement? Ou si vous ne connaissez pas le band, écoutez l'entrevue, vous allez connaître une personne absolument vraiment drôle, très, très terre à terre. On va parler principalement de Thalassic, qui est leur 8e album qui est sorti en 2020, avant un retour sur la scène. On espère en 2021, peut-être 2022, peut-être qu'ils font un arrêt à Québec. On espère, nous, surtout après cette entrevue. Alors, on vous laisse l'écouter. Welcome to Chicks Rock's media interview. I just would like to know that this is the first time that I'm actually interviewing someone. Okay. And I believe that this is a really, really great honor to have you. And I just would like to know, how would you like me to name you? Is this Mr. Lindroos? Is this Petri?
Petri is okay. You can call me also Pete.
Pete,
it's
all right.
Less formal. Just everybody called me Pete since I was a kid, so all right. Petri feels way too official.
All right, so yeah. Pete, let's start this interview. So this year is really, really particular, and apparently I'm not a huge Facebook fan, but someone told me that you posted something about you lost a tooth at a hockey game, and I think that was really circumstantial because we're both from northern country and where hockey is a big, big sport. And I thought that was really funny.
Well,
can you talk a bit about that?
Not actually in hockey, but okay. I mentioned that I got a hockey player.
Oh,
right now. Yeah, I lost a tooth on the down low, so it looks pretty
that's
cool.
Cute.
And it feels also kind of weird, but maybe I'll get some fixed at some point. We'll see.
Before or after the next tour?
Hopefully before.
So let's talk a bit about the Thalassic album, which was launched, I think it was in February 2020, right before
July.
The world got indoors. And this is your 8th studio album, and I actually have my copy with me. I just bought it, and I really, really love the album. And
thank you.
I just would like to know, what was the, first of all, on your website, you have a lot of descriptive on how you made the album. And I would like to know if this is something that you would like to do again, having that same creative process for next album, or?
Yeah, well, hard to be talking about next album already now, since the album just came out, well, half a year ago. But anyway, since we haven't had any chance to play live yet, so I don't know how the next process is actually gonna go, but I think it's gonna go fairly similar to all the other ones as well. So nothing bigger changes. This kind of style what we have right now works really good, so kind of like no need to change a working machine.
Okay. sometimes you can change the oil and it works a bit smoother.
Yeah, true. Like having like a different producers and recorders, stuff like this, different studio, everything adds up then another layer of different approach.
And you also recorded this album with a new clean vocalist and a new keyboardist. Was it really different working with a new guy, or?
A little bit different, not too much. He's a very professional guy. He knows what he's doing, and he kind of like we requested what we would like to have, and he kind of went in and delivered. So it was, in a way, easy. I think it was easy, actually. Yeah.
And did that brought up memory for you? Because if my memory is right, you came into the band when the band was already created, and I think you had a lot of great stuff, and everybody had some creative. How can I say that? Everybody had some creative opportunity and different vision and also help. But do you see a parallel with your arrival in the band many years ago?
Yeah, I joined the band 2004. I was actually supposed to just fill in for a 3-week European tour, but now it's like 16 years later, so I guess I'm in the band. But well, there was that 2004 and 5, like a very major lineup change in the band. Only the founding member Markus Toivonen stayed. All the rest kind of like switched over at that point. So Markus is very much also responsible for all the music what we do. So it's his baby, and we're here kind of like helping him out.
So he's not alone, lost completely in his house and trying to figure how Ensiferum is actually working.
No,
a lot of support from you.
Yeah, he gets help and support.
Okay. And how did you find the quarantine? Just look at a bit of that. I do not necessarily want to talk about what the pandemic has done for a lot of people, because everybody knows, but just to briefly talk about that, how has been your life since we all shut ourselves down?
Yeah, we got the album done. It was ready in early March, and then we had like a couple of months off, and then was the festival season supposed to start, and that was then canceled, I think midway of March or something like that. Like completely everything is canceled, and we're like, okay, so what do we do now? Well, kind of like the first couple of months went really fast over here, just like staying at home, playing a lot of guitar, playing Xbox, watching Netflix, stuff like that. So and then came summer. Summer was really nice over here in Finland for a change. A lot of sunshine and warm weather. So also the summer went really nicely. But now we are already now in December. So I could be seeing myself sitting in a tour bus right now. That would be pretty awesome.
Does that make you feel like the worst part of touring is actually the thing that you miss the most, and you never thought in your life that you wish that worst part is actually I miss that because I know that means I'm on tour?
Yeah. Well, I think the saying that you don't know what you have until it's gone. So I think a lot of people will see their profession in different kind of way after this one.
Okay, I actually see myself, my day job is actually in the pharmaceutical company, and I work for a vaccine company. So in a way, it's very circumstantial too. And my life kind of changed. So also because of that, as I had to hang up my Chicks Rock Media hat for a while and go to work with world sleeve and just dive in. And yeah, I saw things differently too. And I think this is the kind of the situation where there's no control over, and you don't really have a choice between you either go out of it or it just crushes you.
Yeah, that one also, because nobody knows anything, everything changes from week to another now, pretty much over here. So hard to say how it's going to look like in first week of January, for example. And then looking like half a year to the future, it's impossible to say. So I guess the not knowing about anything is kind of the worst.
And do you think this is a good thing? I mean, not knowing and actually just go head on and experiencing different things, or you like to have something more planned and more how can I say that? More planned and more like steps. Like when you look at a tour dates, you know that where you're going to be and which date and how the road is supposed to go. Is this something you find?
Yeah, usually we have on a normal year, we get like a year's plan in ahead almost. Like early in the year, we get the tour dates, festivals, if there's another tour dates and all these ones, like what we're gonna do at what time of the year. But right now it's blank. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. So it's kind of weird. I try to take it like one day at a time right now, because it makes no point to make any plans for a week ahead, because I don't even know if I am allowed to go outside in a week. So I go one day at a time right now.
And how would a normal touring look like for Ensiferum? Do you do a lot of preparation? Because we talked about dates and planning ahead, but on the actual tour, like let's say that we have confirmation that we're going on tour next week. And is it something like, okay, you already have something in your mind since you've been touring for so long? Do you have something that you know and you plan, you know what to bring into your luggage, you know what instruments you're going to bring, how to pack everything? And is there something more like tourism that you can add? Or is it just like you leave that time, 5 minutes luggage, and then you're out the door?
I wish I could do that, 5 minutes luggage packing and get out. Now,
it's not something that I've not seen before.
yeah, it has happened, yes, because just like sleeping too long or being too lazy to pack the stuff in advance. But nowadays I start to pack like 2-3 days before, because I'm slow and I don't know actually what I want to take with me. So, but like what comes to the gear, it's very much set it up what goes with, since kind of like routine in touring. There's the certain amount of guitars, basses, backline stuff comes with us and stuff. Yeah. So it's relatively automatic, except now that there's been a year now without a tour, and it's not looking so bright next year either. So the next tour, what comes up, I think we're gonna have a meeting with the crew, like how to do this, how to go on tour one-on-one.
Okay. Do you sometimes try new gear on tour? Or is it something that I tried before? Because now you have a lot of time to actually try them and play in lots of different ways, because you do have time. But do you like to try new
bringing
gears
like completely new gear on tour is always a bit of a risk, because we don't know how it works unless we had like a couple of weeks time to test drive them. So it can work, or then it's going to be a complete failure. So we usually take the stuff what we know that really works.
Okay. And
the less there is like surprises on the road, the easier it is for everyone. Yeah, like getting like backup gear if something breaks. Most likely we're gonna be out in the middle of nowhere on a Sunday, and there's like no help anywhere, and we don't want to have that situation.
Okay. And is it how did you how can I pronounce that or formulated that? How do you get exactly that when you're on tour and something breaks in the middle? Do you have some shops that you can go to and you have a list of addresses that are willing to help you, or do you just go and say, scratch your head and it's like, okay, how can I do that?
Most likely we will scratch our head first.
So you might
No,
see you
it
playing with
totally,
the
yeah,
string.
yeah. For example, like playing in Europe, you're kind of like switching to a country to another overnight. So it's really hard to say where you actually is. Nobody is checking out that much in advance on like Google Maps, like where the venue is located. Are we in the city or outside of the city?
Okay.
Most likely the best help what we can actually get and works the fastest if we just post it online on Facebook that we have an issue. Can somebody help us? I think that one be like working the best nowadays.
There's always someone coming, I've got a string.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
And then
That will
5
be.
people come up, we've got strings too. And like, oh,
Yeah.
but no, technology
Yeah.
is great help.
It is. It is. It helps in that kind of way. But we try to prepare to have also backup gear. Like everything what we can just think of, just pack it and take it along.
Okay. And just to go back to the Tholastic album again, that I love so much. You released also in I think it was in June. You have 2 singles out. You had Andromeda for video, and you also have Rum Woman and Victory. And I would like to pick your brain a bit about this, because they were released 2 weeks apart, and 2 very different video and 2 different songs telling 2 different stories. But how fun was editing Rum Woman in Victory versus the actual ending of the actual, not ending, but the actual finished product of Andromeda?
Well, totally different, of course, the 2 videos. The Rum, Women, and Victory, we were all filming at home and, just kind of like doing a playthrough of the song and just send it over to Metal Blade Records. And the guys over there then had the idea to involve also the fans for that one. So that was pretty cool. And then everything was combined together. And I really like that video. It's actually very much fun. Every time you look at it, there's those little screens all over the thing on the screen, so you can see a lot of different people. So you gotta watch it a few times to see everybody in it because they're so short time. And then the Andromeda video, we shot that one in May. It was a lovely sunny day on an island in front of Kotka.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like plus 10 degrees, but it felt warm.
Okay.
Because, yeah, springtime,
I like
so plus 10
warm.
is kind of warm. Yeah. So it was almost like a t-shirt weather. And it was cool. Everybody was there, the crew, the actress, the whole band, couple of crew members hanging. So it was a lovely day. It was a long, long day, but a lovely one.
Okay. But you can actually see, like, when you look at the color as a photographer and a visual artist, I could actually analyze a bit more of the view in the videos, and I could tell that the Andromeda looks like it was shot at a sunset, and I really liked the color texture that you could see. And
Yes.
I just make a thing that Rum Woman Victory, when I watched it a few times, just exactly like you said. You have to watch it a few times. The song's great. I think it really pops up great positive energy. And I think it got a lot of people when you actually made the announcement that you would wanted fans into the video. I really think that it brightens a lot of people's day. And when I watched the video, I could actually see that there's a lot of diversity, and the Ensiferum fans, it's everybody. You know, it's children, it's women, it's man, it's family, it's people of color. And I think it represents exactly that, the song, the video, and it's fun. And the other emotion that I have while I was watching is I could actually make a really good parallel with the positivity that I had after the show that I went to in Quebec City when you played. And to be even more honest, it's that night, that show, you not only made me a fan, but I have no idea who you were. And
Okay.
my photographer came to me and said, "You're going to go, I'm going to bring you to a show. You're going to love this. Don't ask questions." I was like, okay, I'm always following anyway. And I was really thrown back. I was like, how come I've never seen or heard about your name? Because this is exactly the kind of music that I love. This is exactly the kind of music that I feel great about. And when I was rewatching that video, that made me like, yes, there's so much people that should have heard more about you, because the whole band, what you go through and what you present is really, really important. And I think that when it comes to these times of mental health is actually really something that people need. And you really nail that one on that video. And can you just describe a bit more, like, what is your description for someone who might watch this video, this interview, that have no idea what Ensiferum is? And in your own words, how can you describe the music or the band?
Ooh, that's always a good one, because we kind of don't have a description of our music, because we go a lot from from side to side actually. uh we got fast parts, we got slow songs, we got acoustic songs. So it's kind of hard to put a one kind of genre where we would be. uh our bass player put it many years ago in this way, that we play heroic folk metal. So I think that is pretty good. We got also a little bit of like death metal here and there, and like power metal influences here, heavy metal. Just overall, there is now 8 albums out, so there's a lot of songs to pick.
Okay. And there's
Yeah.
a lot of songs on each album too. So
Yeah.
but would you say that Thoracic is actually more like what represents in its whole the band? Like if I have a friend who say, who is Ensiferum, like I was like more than a year ago, unfortunately, and I say, no, you have, if you really want to know the band, listen to this. Is Thoracic the one album that said this is exactly the essence of the band?
Definitely one of them now. Yes. It's a very like successful album in our opinion, that it all the parts worked really good. All the songs are as good as we can just make them happen. So that one. And also I would also reference on Victory Songs album, and also From Afar. I think these ones are like up to date.
And would you say that also, like I said, the moment that I discovered you, which shamefully, I also went back and listened to a lot of the music that you Ensiferum did, regardless of years and albums and everything. And when it comes to just an hint of Two Path, the one before last album, would you say that you made a bit more folk sound on Two Path? This is my personal opinion. Maybe that was not the intention. And when I was listening to Thoracic, I also had the feeling of having like the right balance of folk and metal, and just like you said, the slow part and fast part. I think it's really well balanced.
Yeah, I would agree on that one. 100%. Yes.
Okay, and one of my favorite tracks, and also just a bit before this interview started, I was chatting with Marie-Ève Mad, And we were talking about the album and the physical album. And personally, I think that having a great physical album takes the experience, enhance the actual experience of listening to it, because I have a visual, and that visual for me is the lyrics. You have included a lot of beautiful graphic design and a lot of colors. There's a pictures with all of your names, so we can name each one. And also I pay attention to a lot of the lyrics that the band has written. And one of my favorite song of the album is actually Running from the Crushing Tide, which kind of feels like it's a love song, it's a love story, but when you listen to the actual song, it's really fast. And if you just take the lyrics out, it's really like contrasting. So it's a fast song, it's a heavy song with a love story behind it.
Yes, it is.
What would you say the inspiration of it, was it intentional to have that contrast going?
Maybe not at first, but it kind of fitted in it somehow. The our bass player Sami Hinkka is doing all the lyrics this far, and most likely will be also. So he was figuring this one out, and I think "Run from the Crushing Tide" was one of the last songs that actually got put together before we went to studio. But I think it fits pretty well, actually. You know, there's a good groove on the song, and we never actually had a love story lyrics before, so it's also a first one for us, and I like it. It has a very cool balance on everything.
And just for personal knowledge, is it a real legend, or is it just the lyrics inspired you to create this love story, or is it that there's actually two characters that this actually a bit like Romeo and Juliet, that love story actually exists somewhere else and you got inspired to write that song?
If I remember right, it is a French folklore. Yeah.
Oh. And just apparently time flies by. So what is your favorite song on this album?
That is also a good question, because I still like them all, since we haven't overplayed anything yet.
But which one has been itching your fingers? Which one are you most eager to play live in front of whoever audience you're going to be?
Right now, I gotta say all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, but if I need to really pick some, I would take the Cold Northland.
Oh. So is it, and of the other albums, is there a song that, or songs that you feel like you're just like, because you have new materials now, you feel like you I'm gonna say that you like can let go of some of the old songs, and in chance of having those new songs and say, we haven't played them live, let's not play that one, let's play this one?
Yeah, it's gonna get really difficult now, since there is 8 albums, and we would always like to play songs from each album. So
do you get
and now
tired of
yeah,
playing
like
some of the songs?
Can you repeat?
Can you sometimes get tired of playing some of the songs? Like you have played like for the last 5 shows the same set list, or sometimes, oh, let's switch that song, I'm just bored of playing it in exchange of another one. Is this something that you prepare for shows, or you just...
We would actually like to do that one on tours, yes.
Okay.
But it also kills the routine of the show.
Yeah.
So and also when you get used to a like one set list per tour, you kind of, it would feel extremely weird to have different songs on different part of the set, since you have it kind of like in a muscle memory already, that there is this coming after this one and this one, and then there is something new coming up, and you're like, when did we change this? Oh yeah, today. So we try to keep it always on tours, at least the set list the same night per night, because that creates the routine and the certainty, and the show goes a lot smoother and it has a better flow.
Okay. It's also a help for the techs that actually change your guitars and say, it's not that one, and then run to give you the other one.
Yeah, that too. It's easier for everyone. Yeah.
Just because time really flies by, and I don't think we can extend a lot. You and I have a common thread that I'm going to say. We are both in the force, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And, just on a personal note, this is my question for you. Which Star Wars character are you most like, or your friends would say you're most like?
Well, if you take a look at my house, I think you can see a lot of Darth Vader over here for some reason. But also, I have my new best friend.
Oh, Baby Yoda.
The Baby Yoda. Yes, this is now the absolute favorite of mine. I just can't stop hanging out with this little fellow.
So are you more Darth Vader, or are you more Anakin Skywalker?
I would be more Darth Vader.
Oh.
Yeah, so dark side got cookies.
The dark side has a lot of things, apparently.
They do. Cookies is one.
Well, I just would like to thank you very much. Is there anything else that you would like to mention, or you would like to say? Because I can.
Well, actually, going back to the Andromeda video, where you said that you could see the sunset colors on when we were playing, and that is absolutely right. And it was so cool. We left early in the morning, like 8-9 o'clock, started to drive from here, Helsinki, towards Kotka. It's a couple of hours drive. We came up over there. We went to the island. We set it up, everything, and then the director says, like, I think we can wait the band until the sunset. We're like, when is sunset? It starts around 8:39. We're like, okay. So we got like many hours to kill. So we waited until the sunset starts, and then we needed to be ready. We were late, of course. We had the whole day to prepare, and then we're still running late, of course. And
that's a classic.
Yeah. Yes, very classic, and it's on like a rocky side of the place, and there is nothing to block the sunset at all until it goes like really down in the horizon. So we played. I think like 10 to 15 times non-stop, repeat the song really fast, and then sunset is down. And he's like, all right, we're good, thank you. I'm like, okay, cool.
So you packed everything and you leave.
Yes, when the sun set, the sun went off, and then it was like pitch black. You couldn't see anything in that island. We're like, oh, cool. Then you have your cell phone with the small flashlight on it, and you try to not to die when you walk off.
Or slip, or the guitar. No, my life. And just when you mentioned the island, and what do you do all day on an island waiting for the sun sets?
Well, we were actually barbecuing, grilling some sausages over there.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were doing it really slow. It took like 3 hours or something, because we had nothing else to do. But
you can say that you play Andromeda so many times during the video just to have the perfect shot, and you could say that you play that song live. I think that would fit. Like, it's not a show, it's not live at a show or in front of an audience, but I really think that you played it so much for a video that you actually played it for the video crew. So I think That one has
Yeah, pretty
life.
much. You know,
Yeah.
it's always weird to play just for a camera.
Yeah.
I usually look at the guy behind the camera.
Okay.
I don't know. It's somehow more fun to see their face and not a lens actually. So it's kind of more natural feeling, maybe. Kind of hard to say, but that works better for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure, and we really can't wait for you to come back to Quebec City on tour and tour in general, because that's what you were born to do, and that's what the band is born to do, and we enjoy every live show, but really particularly to Quebec City, and I just can't wait to make you sign, you and the bands, to make you sign my album, because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Hopefully
And
2021 will be a lot better year than this one.
yeah, I hope so.
It doesn't take much to be better, actually.
Well, mine was really restful. It was I have the different perspective on everything. So this year was really different, but I personally cannot say it was a bad one, because I'm not in the entertainment industry as much as all of you and all the singers and techs and everything. But for me, it was really restful. And I, just like you said, you see things like you have to sit down and say things that you can control, and what can come out of that. And it's great to see you smiling and preparing for next year.
Yeah.
Say hi to the rest of the band.
I will.
Ourselves,
whenever I see them, actually.
even though they cannot be here physically, but at least, or digitally. At least we're thinking about them.